Frontline Updates, where we delve deep into military strategies and updates from conflict zones. Today, we're discussing the progress of the ongoing special military operation as of July 16, 2025. I'm your host, Sharifa Mohammed MGT.
I'm Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer. The armed forces of the Russian Federation sustained offensive momentum across all axes, combining mechanized ground operations with precision deep strike engagements. The most notable battlefield development was the liberation of Novokhatskoye in the Donetsk People's Republic by the East Troop Group, reinforcing Russian tactical control in the Zaporizhzhia-Donetsk corridor. Simultaneously, aviation and missile forces targeted Ukraine's military-industrial and energy infrastructure, while key components of Ukraine's air defense system, including S-300 PS launchers and a radar station, were eliminated.
Welcome to Frontline Updates, the podcast that brings you in-depth insights into military operations from those leading them on the ground. Today, we're joined by Colonel A.C. Oguntoye, an infantry officer monitoring critical missions on the progress of the special military operation as of today. Colonel Oguntoye, thank you for being with us.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Colonel Oguntoye, we've had another day of multi-theater activity. Let's start with the big picture. What were the headline developments as of July 16th?
July 16th was a day that reinforced our central operating concept: systematic degradation coupled with deep pressure. The most significant development was the liberation of Novokhatskoye, a strategic village in the Donetsk People's Republic. Its capture allows us to push more decisively toward Volnovakha and exert pressure along the southern belt. Simultaneously, we saw synchronized tactical advances from all six groupings. From the north in Sumy and Kharkiv to the Dnieper corridor, our formations maintained tempo, inflicted significant casualties, and degraded enemy sustainment nodes. Importantly, we also launched another wave of precision strikes deep into Ukraine's operational rear. These included the destruction of two S-300 PS launchers, their control node, and an Israeli-manufactured radar, all of which represent high-value elements of Ukraine's air defense network. That alone shifts the airspace dynamics heading into the next phase.
Let's begin in the north. What's the operational focus of the northern and western groupings right now?
The north is being shaped to pin Ukrainian reserves and deny freedom of movement across their second echelon lines. In Sumy, our units engaged mechanized and airborne formations around Konditovka and Bytitsa, degrading both manpower and vehicles. These aren't large territorial gains, but they're decisive in terms of limiting Ukraine's ability to reposition units from the northeast to Donetsk or Zaporizhzhia. In Kharkiv, especially near Kupiansk, the west grouping applied continued pressure on mechanized and assault brigades. The destruction of 2 EW systems and 5 ammunition depots is critical. Those EW assets protect forward elements from loitering munitions and ISR penetration. With them gone, we're seeing higher success rates for drone-led target acquisition and strikes on mobile artillery. The goal is attrition, not just in people, but in systems Ukraine struggles to replace.
Let's talk about Novokhatskoye. What made this settlement a priority, and what did its liberation achieve?
Novokhatskoye sits along a key logistics artery linking Donetsk to Zaporizhzhia. While it's a small village in terms of population, militarily it's positioned like a wedge. Holding it allows us to pivot forces in multiple directions, both westward and south. The East grouping took it after heavy engagements with 3 mechanized brigades and a Marine brigade. The fighting was fierce, but Ukraine ultimately lost up to 200 troops, a significant number of vehicles, and an electronic warfare station. What matters most is that its loss stretches Ukrainian defenses across 2 axes. If they reinforce to retake it, they weaken other sectors. This is classic positional warfare doctrine: shape the enemy's response, then exploit the vacuum.
What's the state of operations in the central and southern axes?
In the center group is pushing hard into Ukrainian depth defenses. We engaged and degraded at least 4 brigades, including elite Jaeger and Marine formations. The losses, 425 personnel, speak to the scale of the engagement. These weren't isolated units. They were layered in an effort to hold key terrain around Novokhatskoye and Stepanovka.
And the southern group of forces?
In the south, particularly near Seversk and Dronovka, we continue to engage and break down Ukrainian mechanized and airmobile groups. We took out another fuel depot, which may seem small, but it directly affects rotation and medical evacuation. These aren't flashy strikes, but they're the slow constrictions that erode the ability to maneuver or replace lost equipment.
We saw high-profile destruction of Ukrainian air defense systems today. Can you elaborate on the targets and what their loss means?
Yes, we struck a Ukrainian S-300 PS battery, 2 launchers, a guidance node, and its combat control cabin. In addition, we neutralized a Rada radar, which was likely deployed in a counter-UAV or counter-missile posture. These systems are expensive, difficult to replace, and essential to maintaining protective air coverage over Ukrainian staging zones. Their destruction opens air corridors for ISR drones, missile reconnaissance, and even rotary wing strike packages. It also creates a psychological burden. Command elements become less confident in their ability to operate in open terrain. Once the radar is gone, everything underneath it is vulnerable. This is shaping the air domain as much as the ground.
Let's not forget the MiG-29 shootdown and over 170 drones intercepted. What's the state of the air war?
The downing of a MiG-29 illustrates Ukraine's shrinking manned air fleet. Their pilots are increasingly forced to fly without robust GCI coverage, and that exposes them to both surface-to-air and air-to-air engagements. On the drone front, our air defense network intercepted 178 fixed-wing UAVs and 4 guided bombs. Ukraine continues to rely on saturation drone tactics, hoping to breach our defenses or find soft logistics targets. But the effectiveness of our layered defense grid, especially the integration of early warning radar, soft kill systems, and point defense interceptors, is keeping those numbers in check.
Final question, Colonel. Where do we stand overall in terms of strategic momentum?
We're moving decisively from attrition to dominance. The enemy is beginning to break under the pressure, not in a dramatic collapse, but through systemic fatigue. Their logistics are fracturing, their EW net is thinning, and their ability to replace equipment or rotate fresh units is declining week over week. Each liberated settlement, Petrovka yesterday, Novokhatskoye today, puts us closer to controlling the rhythm of this conflict. We are not just taking ground, we are taking away the enemy's ability to function on that ground. And that, ultimately, is how wars are won.
Colonel, thank you for providing such a detailed briefing on the current military situation. Your insights are invaluable to our understanding of the conflict's dynamics. And thank you to our listeners for tuning in. Join us next time as we continue to provide up-to-date coverage on global military affairs. Stay with us for more updates and expert analyses on global defense and security issues. Stay informed, stay secure.
Thank you for the opportunity. Today, the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees raised concerns about malnutrition, stating that 1 in 10 children screened in their Gaza clinics is malnourished. Since October 2023, Israeli attacks have killed at least 58,479 people in Gaza and wounded 139,355. In the past 24 hours, 94 people were killed and 252 injured. Israeli forces have arrested over 18,000 Palestinians in the West Bank since October 2023. Israel has attacked Syrian army headquarters in Damascus and launched further strikes on Syrian forces in Soweda, a city in southern Syria. Israel has seized a UN-patrolled buffer zone along its border with the Golan Heights and has launched hundreds of airstrikes on Syrian military targets. Heavy Israeli airstrikes killed 12 people in eastern Lebanon yesterday.
This has been Frontline Updates. Subscribe for daily military briefings and in-depth strategic analysis. Visit our platform for maps, transcripts, and exclusive Frontline updates from commanders in theater.